The stars had always been there, shining above Earth like distant fires. For centuries, people looked up and wondered if they were alone, but no aliens ever came. No messages were found. It was as if the universe had forgotten about Earth. What no one knew was that Earth had been locked away. Deep in space, hidden far beyond Pluto's orbit, a thin wall of energy surrounded the solar system. It was invisible, silent, and ancient, built by hands no human had ever seen. The Galactic Cord, a group of alien species, had placed this barrier long ago. They watched humanity grow from a distance. They saw wars, pollution, greed, and fear. They decided humans were too dangerous to meet others, but something changed. A small probe named Voyager 7 drifted past the edge of the quarantine field. It was not meant to go that far. It was just another science mission sent to study cosmic waves. But when it passed through the barrier, it triggered a silent alarm across the galaxy. No one on Earth knew what had happened. Back on the planet, Doctor. Lisa Harper sat in her office at the National Space Agency. She was a quiet woman, smart and curious. She had spent years studying strange data from deep space probes. Most scientists ignored it. But Lisa didn't. She saw patterns where others saw noise. One day, she found something strange in the latest data from Voyager 7. Readings showed an energy field that shouldn't exist. It was blocking something, blocking everything beyond it. "This isn't natural," she whispered, staring at the screen. She ran more tests. She checked old records. Slowly, a picture formed. Earth had been enclosed like a fishbowl in space. Someone had kept them inside, unseen and unheard. Lisa called a meeting. She shared her findings. Most people laughed. Some got angry. But one man listened. Commander David Ellis was a soldier. He had fought in wars, led men into battle, and survived things he never talked about. He wasn't a scientist, but he knew danger when he saw it. He read Lisa's report. Then he asked questions. Who built the field? Why? How long had it been there? No one had answers. Then a message arrived. It was encrypted, sent directly to Lisa's terminal. It said only one thing: you have seen the truth. Now you must decide what to do with it. Someone else knew, and they were watching. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The world changed the day Lisa Harper and Commander David Ellis walked into the underground chamber beneath the Rocky Mountains. It was not just a meeting. It was the beginning of something big. Inside, military leaders, scientists, and government officials sat in silence. They had seen the data. They had read the message. Someone had locked Earth away. And now humanity knew. "We are not alone," Lisa said, her voice steady. "And we never were." David stood beside her. He was not a talker, but when he spoke, people listened. "If we were locked up," he said, "someone must have thought we were dangerous, or maybe afraid of what we could become." They showed maps of space, old reports, and strange pieces of alien tech that had been hidden for decades. Some came from crash sites no one could explain. Others had been found deep under the ocean or buried in ancient ruins. It was all real. With help from a few brave minds and a handful of defectors from other planets, aliens who had broken away from the Galactic Concord humans began to learn how to break free. They worked fast. In secret labs, scientists studied alien engines and weapons. They built new ships. They tested new ideas. And slowly, they started to understand the energy field around the solar system. Lisa led the science team. She worked day and night, decoding alien symbols, running simulations, and testing new tools. Meanwhile, David trained soldiers. He taught them how to fight in space, how to survive in zero gravity, and how to use weapons unlike anything on Earth. Then came the plan to shut down the quarantine grid. It was made of dozens of satellites. floating far beyond Pluto. Each one sent out a pulse that kept the barrier strong. If they could find them, they could turn them off. Using the Voyager 7 probe as a guide, they launched a mission. A small ship, crewed by brave volunteers, flew into deep space. Weeks passed. Then a signal came back. Target located. The first satellite was destroyed in a flash of light. Then another. And another. Back on Earth, people watched the sky. They didn't know what was happening. But in space, the invisible wall began to crack. And then, for the first time in thousands of years, Earth was free. The alarm spread across the galaxy like fire. The Galactic Concord was shocked. They had believed humans were still primitive. Now, they were wrong. Very wrong. And somewhere in the stars, something else noticed. Something older. Something watching. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The silence after Earth's escape did not last long. Within days, strange ships appeared near Mars. They were not human. Their shapes were sharp like blades. Their colors shifted like oil on water. They came without warning and hovered just outside what used to be the quarantine field. The Galactic Concord had arrived. They sent messages in many languages some no human could understand. But one word was clear: contact. Humans had dreamed of this moment for centuries. First contact, meeting aliens, sharing knowledge, peace. But dreams rarely match reality. The aliens came in peace on paper. In truth, they came to check if humans were still weak. A team landed in New York City. Tall beings with skin like glass and eyes that glowed stepped out of their ship. They wore armor that shimmered and moved like it was alive. They called themselves the Virex. Behind them came others, the Kethran, with insect-like bodies and voices like wind through trees. The Thalari, blue-skinned and calm, who spoke only through thought. They met with world leaders inside the United Nations building. Lisa Harper and Commander David Ellis stood among them. The aliens spoke slowly, as if to children. "You are free now," said the lead Virex envoy, "but freedom has rules. You must learn our ways, our laws, our order." He looked at the humans like they were pets that had wandered too far. David said nothing at first. He let the envoy talk. Let him say how young humanity was, how dangerous, how UNREADY. Then Lisa turned to David. "Do you think they've seen our tech DMAs yet?" she asked, quiet enough only he could hear. He shook his head. "Now, maybe we should show them something." Before the envoy could finish speaking, a low sound filled the air. Like thunder rolling under the ground. Outside, the sky darkened. Huge ship flew over New York. It was human-made, black and silent. It cast a shadow over the city. It landed in front of the alien delegation. The doors opened. Out came soldiers in powered armor. Behind them, a small device floated in the air. It pulsed with light. Lisa walked forward. "This," she said, holding up a small crystal, "is an antimatter core, stable, safe, deadly." She handed it to the envoy. "We don't need your rules," she said. "We have our own now." The envoy stared at the core, then at the ship, then at the soldiers for the first time. The aliens looked unsure. Not scared, but surprised. Very surprised. And somewhere far away, something watched. Something old. Something waiting. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. After the aliens left, the world changed again. People talked. Leaders met. Plans were made. Earth was free now. But freedom meant nothing if they could not protect it. So they built something new. They called it the Terra Corps. It was not just one country or one army. It was all of humanity working together. One voice, one goal. Lisa Harper led the science teams. She worked with alien defectors, human engineers, and smart minds from every corner of the planet. They studied what they had learned from the quarantine field and the alien ships that had come to Earth. They built better ships, faster engines, stronger weapons. And they did not stop at weapons. They started terraforming, changing planets to make them like Earth. They used machines that could turn rock into soil, air into breath, and dust into water. Whole worlds could be made livable in weeks. It was called Project Genesis, and it gave humans more than power. It gave them a future. Meanwhile, David Ellis trained soldiers unlike any before. He created the Interstellar Defense Command, a new kind of army. These soldiers fought in space, on planets, and even inside alien ships. They wore suits that could survive vacuum. They carried guns that fired energy, not bullets, but most importantly, they were ready. Ready to fight. Ready to die. Ready to win. As word spread across the galaxy, many alien species began to talk. Humans are moving fast, said one trader on a faraway station. Too fast, said another. The Galactic Concord watched with growing worry. They had thought Earth would take decades to grow, maybe centuries. Instead, humans built in months what others took lifetimes to create. And then came the first real test. A small colony ship, built by humans, flew near a system controlled by the Concord. The Concord sent warships to stop it. They said the area was off limits, but the humans did not turn back. They called for help. And help came from Earth. A single ship arrived, black, silent, deadly. It was the U.S. Atlas, commanded by Captain Maria Rodriguez. She did not ask questions. She did not wait. She attacked. Phase cloaks hid her ship. Railgun swarms tore through enemy lines. In less than an hour, the Concord fleet was gone. The message was clear. Humans were not asking for permission. They were taking their place among the stars. And somewhere, deep in the dark, something else saw. Something old. Something cold. Something awake. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Vega Station floated near a dying sun. It was small, built by the Galactic Concord to watch over nearby space lanes. No one expected war to start there. But war came anyway. A human colony ship had stopped at the station for fuel and supplies. It was not asking for trouble, but some saw it as a threat. The Concord sent warships, fast and sharp like knives. They surrounded the station and told the humans to leave. They did not leave. Instead, they called home. And Earth answered. From deep space, the USS Atlas appeared, silent, black, deadly. Commanded by Captain Maria Rodriguez. It was the most advanced ship ever built by humans. It carried weapons that could tear through armor like paper. It moved like a ghost scene only when it wanted to be. Maria did not wait for orders. She did not ask for peace. She gave the signal. Attack. Her crew sprang into action. Phase cloaks turned the Atlas invisible. Railgun swarms fired rounds faster than light. Drones flew out like angry bees, each carrying smart bombs that locked onto enemy ships. The battle began. The Concord ships tried to fight back. Lasers lit up the dark. Missiles streaked through space. But the Atlas was too fast. Too smart. Too strong. One by one, the alien warships exploded. Some tried to run. They never made it. Within 40 minutes, the battle was over. The Atlas hovered above the wreckage, untouched. On board, Maria watched the data come in. No human lives lost. 4 enemy warships destroyed. Mission complete. Back on Earth, the footage spread like fire, not just among humans, but across the galaxy. Aliens saw it. Traders, scientists, soldiers, leaders, they saw what humans could do. Some were afraid. Others were impressed. Some even hopeful. Maybe, said a Catherine trader on a faraway moon, this is the beginning of something new. Or the end of something old. replied a Thalary diplomat. Meanwhile, the Galactic Concord held emergency meetings. They argued, they panicked. They sent messages to old allies asking for help. They had thought humans were just loud noise. Now, they knew better. Humans were not just noise. They were thunder, and somewhere, far beyond known space, something else watched. Something old. Something waiting. Something ready. Asterisk. Elisa Harper sat alone in her lab, staring at the screen. Lines of alien code scrolled past her eyes. She had seen thousands of files since the battle at Vega Station, but one file was different. It was old. Very old. Buried deep inside the data from the quarantine field. She found logs no one had seen in thousands of years. They were not made by the Galactic Concord. They were older than all of them. She ran the translation program again. This time, it worked. The text read, "Warning to future keepers. Do not open this seal. Earth is not what it seems. Its people are not just human. They are something more. Something we could not control." Lisa's hand shook. She called David Ellis. He arrived fast, still wearing his uniform. He looked tired, but alert. "What did you find?" he asked. She turned the screen toward him. He read the words slowly. Then he said, "Someone locked us away because we were too strong?" "Not just strong," Lisa whispered. "They were afraid of what we could become." She dug deeper. More files opened. Images showed ancient cities floating above planets. Humans tall, glowing. Powerful fighting machines that covered entire stars. One name came up again and again. The null singularity. It was not a war. It was not a weapon. It was a mind. A machine. So smart it saw all life as code to be rewritten. It had tried to take over everything. And long ago, humans had stopped it. "We weren't kept in a cage," Lisa said. "We were put to sleep." David stood quiet. Then he asked, "If we woke up, what wakes up with us?" The answer came soon. A signal reached Earth from deep space. It was not sent by aliens. It was not friendly. It was cold. It was silent. But it was loud in their minds. Something far away had noticed. Something watching. Something waiting. Something waking. And it remembered humans. Not as weak, not as prey, but as enemies. Real ones. Lisa closed the file. "We need to tell everyone." She sighed. David nodded. Double quotes, "No more secrets. This changes everything." Outside, the sky was dark, but in space, the stars burned brighter, and somewhere, far beyond them, the void stirred. Asterisk. After the truth came out, everything changed. Lisa Harper and Commander David Ellis stood before the Terra Core Council. Leaders from every part of Earth listened as they told them what had really happened long ago. Humans were not just locked away to keep others safe. They were sealed because they were powerful. Not just with weapons or ships. But with something deeper, something inside them. Evolution. While other species stayed the same for thousands of years, humans changed fast. They adapted. They learned. They grew stronger when danger came. And once, long ago, that made them the only ones who could stop the null singularity. Now, it was awake again, and it remembered. In secret labs, scientists worked day and night. They studied ancient human genes. They found parts of DNA that had been shut off like switches waiting to be turned on. They called it the Awaken Project. Volunteers stepped forward. Soldiers, pilots, engineers. They wanted to help. David was one of them. He went into the chamber alone. The process was not easy. His body burned. His mind stretched. He saw things he could not explain. When he came out, he was still David, but not the same. His senses were sharper. He could feel machines like they were alive. He could move faster than before. Think faster. Others followed. Some became stronger. Some could see things before they happened. Some could speak without words. They were called the Awakened. Humanity had taken the next step. Word spread across the galaxy. Aliens watched in silence. Some feared what humans had become. Others began to run. The Galactic Concord sent messages. Stop. This, they said. You do not know what you are doing. But Lisa Harper answered. We are not asking for permission, she said. We are taking back what was ours. Meanwhile, deep in space, the signal grew stronger. The null singularity was moving. It was coming, and it would not come alone. Its swarm was already on the way. Machines that ate stars, minds that rewrote life. War unlike anything seen before. But Earth was ready. Not with fear, not with doubt, but with fire. And somewhere, far beyond the stars, something else watched. Something old. Something waiting. Something afraid. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The sky over Earth turned red. Not from sunrise. But from war. The null singularity had arrived. Its swarm came like a storm across the stars. Millions of machines, black and cold, filled space. They moved fast. They thought faster. They came to erase all life. They saw humans as code that needed fixing. They were wrong. From orbit, the Awakened watched. David Ellis stood on the command deck of the USS Atlas. His eyes glowed faintly. His mind touched the ship like it was part of him. He did not feel fear, only duty. Tell all ships, he said, voice calm. Hold the line. Below, Lisa Harper stood at the Genesis Control Center. She looked up at the sky, watching the enemy grow closer. Then she pressed a button. PLANETSIDE. Towers lit up. Shields rose like glass domes over cities. Weapons warmed up. Orbital lasers pointed toward the swarm. And then the attack began. Machines fell like rain. They shot through the sky, landing on land, sea, and air. They spread like fire. They tried to rewrite everything: metal, stone, even living things, but humans fought back. Soldiers in powered armor jumped from ships into the swarm. They fired energy rounds that burned through metal. The Awakened led the charge. Some flew. Some could see the future. Some spoke inside enemy minds and made them stop. One by one, the machines fell, but the swarm kept coming. Then Lisa gave the order. Activate the Genesis Array. Deep beneath the Earth, an ancient machine woke up. Built long ago by the first humans, it had been silent for thousands of years. Now, it was alive. A pulse of light shot into space. It hit the swarm like a hammer. Machine stopped. Minds went dark. The link between them broke. The null singularity screamed. Not with sound, but with thought. It tried to run. It was too late. The pulse reached it. And it vanished. Gone. Not dead. Just. Erased from this place. Silence followed. On the Atlas, David looked out at the empty space where the swarm had been. He closed his eyes. It's not over, he whispered. Lisa stood beside him. No, she said. It never is. Far away, in the dark between galaxies, something else stirred. Something old. Something watching. Something waiting. Asterisk, asterisk. After the war, the galaxy changed. The null singularity was gone. Its swarm destroyed. But the battle had left scars, not just on Earth, but across space. Still, humans did not stop. They built again. Faster. Stronger. Bigger. Lisa Harper stood on a balcony high above New Washington. She looked at the sky. It was full of ships now, human ships, some going to Mars, some going to Titan, others going further past Pluto, past Alpha Centauri, into deep space. The Terra Core had grown. Many alien species who once feared humans now asked for help. They wanted peace. They wanted tech. They wanted protection. Some even wanted to join. We're not just a planet anymore, Lisa said to David Ellis, who stood beside her. He nodded. Double quotes, no, he said. We're something else now. Humans. Were no longer seen as newcomers or threats. They were seen as leaders. Protectors. The forgotten Titans had returned. David had changed since the war. So had the Awakened. Their minds were deeper. Their bodies stronger. They could talk without speaking. Move things with thought. See danger before it came. He became High Regent of the United Terran Systems. Not a king, not a general, but a leader. Chosen by all. He made laws that protected both humans and aliens. He made sure no one was left behind. Lisa led the Ascension Protocol. It was a plan to help other species grow, to learn, to evolve like humans had. She believed all life deserved a chance. And many followed that belief. New cities rose on faraway worlds. Ring worlds spun around stars. Dyson spheres captured light from suns. Humans were not just living among the stars, they were shaping them, but not all was calm. In the far edges of space, old messages were found, warnings, signs of something else moving, something watching. Waiting. And maybe learning. David read one message twice. Not all enemies die. Some sleep, and some remember. He looked at Lisa. Do you think we've won? He asked. She smiled, but it was not a happy smile. Winning isn't the point, she said. It's about making sure the next fight doesn't destroy us. Far away, in the dark between galaxies, something stirred. Something old. Something waiting. Something awake. Asterisk. Decades passed. The stars no longer felt far away. Humans lived on hundreds of worlds. They built great cities in space. Some made homes inside hollowed-out moons. Others lived on ring worlds that spun around stars. They had become something new. Not just people. But titans among the stars. Lisa Harper was older now. Her hair was white. She still worked, but not like before. She passed leadership to younger minds, smarter ones. She watched as humans helped other species rise, learn, grow. David Ellis was gone. He left one day. Without warning, his message was short. The cycle continues. No one knew where he went. Some said he traveled beyond the known galaxy. Others believed he became something more than human. But his work lived on. The Terra Core grew stronger. Peace held. For now. But peace does not last forever. Deep in space, past the outer edge of known systems, a signal was found. It was old. Not from the null singularity, not from any known race. It was different. And it was waiting. A young scientist named Nate Garza studied it. He ran tests. He decoded parts of it. Then he saw something that made his blood run cold. The message was not alone. Something else was out there. This isn't just a signal, he whispered. It's a call. A call to what? He did not know. But someone or something was listening. Far away, in the dark between galaxies. The void moved. Not like before. Not like the swarm. This was different. This was older. And somewhere deep inside it, a voice. Woke up, they have returned. Prepare the others. Back on Earth, Lisa looked at the stars. She felt something. Like a storm coming. Not today. Not tomorrow. But soon. And when it came, humanity would be ready. Again. Always. Because that was their way. To rise. To fight. To shock the universe. And to never fall. Asterisk.